For today's Free Kids cooking class, we are making broiled fish. So, I love fish. I think it's delicious. And this is the very first way that my mom taught me how to cook fish because it was super easy and I could do it, right, by myself. So this is actually the little broiling pan that she bought me when she taught me how to broil fish, because I just wanted to broil like one piece just for myself. So of course you can use any size pan. But just so you know, if you've never used a broiling pan before, this is what it looks like, okay? This one has like slats in it, and then this is just an open cavity, right? Hopefully you can see that. I know it's black. So what's gonna happen is whatever you put on the top of the broiling pan, if there's extra juices or anything, that will be able to seep through the slats and into the bottom part. All right, so that's why it's shaped this way. Now, I forgot, but I'm gonna get my cooking spray. Okay, so we want to spray our pan so that the fish doesn't stick to it. Now, the other thing we need to do, and I've already done it so that my oven could be heating up, but we need to prepare our oven for broiling. So broiling is when we cook something really close to the top of the oven, and the top of the oven heat cooks whatever we are broiling, right? We're not cooking it with general heat, we're cooking it from the top down. So we've done this before on this show. We've broiled, I know it was something to do with pizza, I can't remember the exact recipe, but we were melting the cheese on the top of the pizza, right? So we just wanted to cook the top. So what I've done is, you probably cannot see, but I moved my rack up, and on my oven, I broil on the second rack from the top. So I have the very, very top level I can put my rack, and then I have the second level I can put my rack, and that's where I broil. Now, when my mom taught me to broil, she also taught me to broil with the oven open like this. So this might be a personal choice. This is how I broil. I also like it because I can see what I'm cooking, because broiling happens really fast and you want to make sure it doesn't burn. So for your fish, you only need 2 ingredients, okay? So get out, I just have one little piece of fish here. We purchased a bunch of fish at Costco actually, and I saved this piece so that I could do this class. So you can do this with any kind of fish, right? Spray your broiler, which I've already done, and then put your fish on top of it. And then you can use any seasoning you want. I just happen to have this fish rub. It's specific for fish rub, so that's what I'm gonna be using. But again, when I very first started to cook fish, I only used lemon pepper because, again, it was very easy. And that is the seasoning that my mom gave me to use, right? So I just used lemon pepper for the longest time. It was delicious. And now, of course, I've been branching out a little bit more with my seasonings. So I'm going to shake my seasoning out onto my fish. Now you also, if you are familiar with marinades, you can marinate your fish. You can do something, just gonna break up a little bit here with a knife. So you can do a marinade, you can do obviously seasonings, you can cook your fish with any kind of flavoring you want. If you want to rub minced garlic on it, you can go ahead and do that. So you start with however you want to, and then you can flavor it and kind of get a little more interesting as you learn. Okay, so I just put seasoning on one side of my fish. Now I'm gonna flip it over, and I'm gonna put seasoning on the other side of my fish as well. Okay, then I'm gonna put it in the oven, and I'm gonna broil it for 5 minutes. Okay, so that's where we're gonna start. Okay, so we are not going to sit here for 5 minutes while that broils, but I'm going to give you a little information about how to finish off your fish. So after 5 minutes, take your fish out. Make sure you use hot pads and be safe and don't burn yourself. And then use your tongs, which we've already used, and flip your fish over, okay? So flip your fish over, put it back in the oven, and broil it for another 5 minutes. Now, if you think your fish is really thin, maybe broil it for a couple less minutes. Of course, when it comes out, cut it in half, or just like try and cut it open a little bit and see if it's cooked all the way through. And if it's not, then put it back in the broiler. Now, when you flip it over, when you bring your fish out after 5 minutes and you flip it over, If you need to add more seasoning, go ahead and do that, right? And you can always rub your seasoning in with your hands or with the back of a spoon or anything you like. So thank you so much for joining, and I hope you love fish. Bye-bye.